Everyone laughed when the Navy SEAL asked her rank, but the laughter died the moment the captain walked in. No one expected the quiet woman in the corner to be anyone important. She wore a faded jacket, her name patch barely visible, sipping black coffee like she belonged to the background. But when the SEAL's teasing words echoed through the mess hall, the air changed. You could almost feel it, the stillness before a storm. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. It started on a humid Friday morning at Camp Hawthorne, a base known for its rigid discipline and louder egos. The mess hall was alive with laughter, plates clattering, boots stomping on the tiled floor. In one corner sat Lieutenant Harper, quiet, collected, her brown eyes tracing the steam rising from her mug. She was new to the base, recently transferred from overseas duty, and most of the men hadn't yet learned her story. That was about to change. Chief Petty Officer Travis Cole, a seasoned Navy SEAL known for his sharp humor and sharper pride, leaned back in his chair and smirked. "So, Lieutenant, huh?" he said loudly enough for the tables nearby to hear. "What's that? Paper-pushing division?" The men around him chuckled. Harper didn't flinch. She just looked up slowly, her gaze calm but steady, the kind that unnerved even the toughest soldier. "Something like that," she said softly. Cole grinned wider. "You sure you know how to salute, ma'am? Or do they teach that in admin school?" The laughter grew, but then footsteps, heavy, deliberate, echoing through the room. Every soldier in the hall turned as Captain Raymond Bishop entered. The room stiffened. Bishop was a man who carried silence with him, the kind that demanded respect without ever needing to ask for it. His eyes swept the room, settling on Harper and Cole. "What's happening here?" he asked. His tone was calm, but the undercurrent was clear. Someone was about to regret this. Cole stood, his grin faltering. "Just a little joke, sir. No harm meant." The captain's eyes flicked to Harper. "Lieutenant Harper, correct?" "Yes, sir," she said, standing straight, voice steady. "Cole," Bishop said after a long pause. "Do you have any idea who you're speaking to?" A hush fell. Cole blinked, confused. "Sir, Lieutenant Harper isn't from admin," Bishop continued. "She was the lead tactical officer in Operation Iron Shore, the same mission where 2 SEAL teams went dark, and she was the one who brought them back." The room froze. Cole's smirk vanished. Murmurs rippled through the hall. Iron Shore wasn't just any operation. It was the kind soldiers whispered about, but never spoke of out loud. A mission that had gone bad in the worst possible way. Bishop turned toward Harper, his expression softening. "You saved 12 men that day, didn't you, Lieutenant?" Harper's jaw tightened. "Not all of them, sir." The captain nodded. "But the ones who made it home owe it to you." Cole's face paled. His voice barely found itself. "I didn't know." "That's the problem, Chief," Bishop said, his words cold but precise. "You didn't ask." The silence that followed was almost physical, thick enough to feel in the air. Somewhere, a tray clattered as someone set it down too fast. Harper looked away, her fingers tightening on the edge of her mug. The laughter from moments before had turned into something else. Guilt, awe, maybe even shame. Outside, the wind picked up, brushing through the open windows. It carried the sound of distant training drills, the heartbeat of the base that never slept. Harper didn't gloat. She didn't need to. Her presence spoke for her, quiet strength born from battles no one wanted to remember. That evening, Cole found her sitting by the motor pool, staring at the horizon. He approached slowly, unsure if he should even speak. "Lieutenant," he began. "I was out of line today." "I didn't mean any," she cut him off gently. "I know. You don't have to explain." He hesitated, searching for the right words. "You could have said something. About who you are." She smiled faintly, eyes still on the sky turning amber. "People see what they want to see, Chief. Sometimes it's better that way." He nodded, ashamed yet strangely grateful. For the first time, he saw her not as a rank, but as a person, one who carried more than medals ever could. Days passed, but the story didn't fade. The moment in the mess hall became a quiet legend on base. Soldiers who hadn't even been there spoke of the woman who silenced a SEAL with nothing but truth. Then one morning, the captain gathered the entire unit on the parade ground. Sunlight hit the flagpole, a gleam of silver cutting through the sky. "Before we begin," Bishop said, his voice carrying across the ranks, "there's something you all should know." He looked toward Harper. Courage doesn't always wear scars or shout orders. Sometimes it just does its job and keeps others alive. He gestured to Harper, and every soldier, including Cole, snapped to attention. The salute they gave her that day wasn't for rank. It was for respect, the kind that's earned in silence and remembered in whispers. Cole was the first to break formation after dismissal. He walked up to Harper and saluted again, this time on his own. "Ma'am," he said quietly. "Thank you for everything." Harper returned the salute, eyes calm. "Just do the same for the next person who stands where I did." As she walked away, the sound of her boots against the gravel felt like an echo from another life, one she'd never brag about, but one that shaped everyone who crossed her path, because courage doesn't demand recognition. It just exists, steady, unseen, but unbreakable. And on that hot morning at Camp Hawthorne, everyone learned a truth they wouldn't forget. Respect isn't given to the loudest voice in the room. It belongs to the one who earns silence. Because real strength doesn't shout, it stands. And that's why the whole base went silent. That if you were moved by this story, share where you're listening from in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that remind us what quiet courage truly looks like.